Oh, all right. Okay, actually, this is actually making me tear up just a little bit to be back here and to see, admittedly, a garden in desperate need of care, but to also see a garden that we built together, that I remember telling stories about life in, that I remember doing my best when I was really struggling to pull everything together in and celebrating with all of you how beautiful all the plants are. I actually I actually have tears in my eyes, like running down my face right now. Just a few, because it is also a beautiful and happy place, and I am so happy to be able to be with all of you again. And to be able to be with the version of me who can walk into a beautiful pixel room like this one in Garden Inn, look around at all of the plants, and take a deep breath and kind of meet that moment in that breath of the past and the present and the seeds of hope for the future. And then let it out, look around, realize I didn't even have a single guinea pig in my life last time we were here. I have no idea how long it has been since you have last been here with me, and I would be honored if you could share in the comments, because that's how we can talk. What is different for you in just a gentle way that you can just in a gentle way, if it was good or bad, just gently. For me, it's been a lot, and I was scared I would never be able to pick up a pixel plant again. But I'm here, and I'm so glad to be here with some of you. So welcome back, everyone, to Garden Inn, where we used to do some little chit chats, and we used to, oh my gosh, I can name my plants now. And we used to come in and we would take care of our plants, make sure that all of the mites that we really don't need eating them would go away, and we would change how the room looked and try to go ahead and breed up different seeds by showing up every day to see how things were. And this was a experience that was so special to me, and I am so honored that the devs actually reached out several times and said thank you, and that it meant a lot that we had our gentle talking series talking about how this is such a beautiful and special game, a beautiful and special place that can become more than just pixels if you're willing to let it, and how it meant a lot to them that I found comfort when I was really struggling by being able to encourage myself to show up every day to the thing that I knew I loved, because it let me take care of these plants, and it became an anchor when everything else felt like I was lost. And the devs actually offered before one of their big anniversary updates to make a plant that I wanted, and I don't think I ever was able to reply because I was very sick at the time and everything was a lot. But the idea that a seed of my imagination, which I just didn't have at the time, could now be here. I'm still touched and honored, and maybe I will need to talk to Alari about, maybe that'll be our theme for the upcoming months of our Patreon postcards and stickers, which are also fly and like dried up little plants going, help me, that could use some love and tender care. But wow, I can't believe how much more I feel just by being here and seeing the difference between these little plants already. But I feel like I can do that. I feel like I can. I can walk into a room like this one, overflowing and full of plants, and a situation that looks, at first glance, to be a little bit overwhelming, doesn't it? To walk through here and look around and see are you sure this is gonna be okay, Seri? Like, your plants are all dead. Like, you really need to get in there and like tend to things. But look, you pick up the watering can and you can make a change. And I think that's so beautiful and special, and I can't believe how much I missed this, and I'm so grateful to be here. So yes, welcome back everyone. This is a little talking series where I just kind of talk through life and maybe pick a subject. I love being able to have things like questions, a Q&A sort of thing where you guys can leave questions in the comments and I can answer them. I want that again. And one of the first questions, if I was me, or if I was you, I would ask is like, what are you talking about? What's been going on? Oh my gosh, this sounds really extreme, Seri. Well, wow, now it's actually that surreality of realizing how our lives are lived like asymmetrically together like this, my friends. And so some of you may be up to date on like, yeah, Seri's not been around for a while, and some really tragic things happened and she lost a lot of her family and she got very sick with a genetic disease that she was always scared from as soon as she could understand that she'd get. And she's been dealing with that, and then she got some guinea pigs because she can't, like, you know, a lot of that. And I'm realizing, boy, wow, just doing a little update is kind of tricky. But the reason I haven't been around, long story short, is not because I don't want to be. I didn't know if I could be. I didn't know if I deserved to be. And I was also very sick. And I still am. Unfortunately, a chronic genetic illness that is like this is lifelong. It's something I was always scared I would develop, and I did. But I am going to cope with it. And for anybody familiar with lupus, you know how that means that every day is different. And that the watering can, there's the spoon theory, but I've never related to the spoon theory. I'm like, I'm one of those people where you tell me the spoon theory and I'm like, why don't I just wash the spoon? Like, it doesn't click as a metaphor for me. Because I'm just like, well, you know, if you only got one spoon, you gotta wash it. Like, that metaphor doesn't work. But if you explained it to me in terms of the watering can theory, I think I would get that. If a chronic illness that really affects your body negatively like that could be explained as a watering can that has different levels of water in it every day. The water is refilled by the rain. Sometimes the rain is other people who are able to put water into your watering can. Like Alari, who has taken the lead on creating so many of the beautiful postcards and stickers we still send out every month on our Patreon, even though I haven't been able to be on the Discord for a long time, and even though I haven't updated the Patreon in a long time, she's been a hero just taking the lead on that, even when I've been too sick to figure out like what art to use every month. And the art she makes is beautiful and reminds me of how beautiful our adventures have been and can be. And I will forever be so grateful to her. It has been an honor to work with her as an artist through these years. She's been so patient with my quirkiness, with how nervous I get, how shy I am, with the millions of ideas I have that just go in all directions. And she has always been able to create beautiful art that really makes the heart of the most beautiful parts of our adventures come out. And even when I couldn't remember, I was too sick, I was too sad, having lost so much of my family, so suddenly, like, that was hard, and it's not something I want to define the future of the adventures here. So it's not that I don't want to talk about it per se, but it's just not, I lost a lot of family, and some of that was because of like the passing of my nephew and my sister almost dying with the too early birth of her twins. The surviving twin, my nephew's doing very well actually. I'm so proud of him. He's almost 2. Can you believe that? I can't because it feels like I'm still looping in a time loop over and over again in those moments. But oh, step complete, a reward awaits us here. Well, we'll have to find out. But plants don't wait for those kinds of time loop moments. They just they do or don't. They either are alive or they die. And I really want to make it so that these plants bloom and that our pixel biology garden blooms. And one of the people putting water in my bucket has been Alari doing the art, and Jack taking care of the Discord, and the many amazingly kind people who have continued to take so much fear off my shoulders through our Patreon, even when I've been so quiet for so many months. And as a result, I'm really happy to say that if I am a plant that looked like, let me find a plant that looks anywhere close to like this thing right here. That little sand thing that just looks all crumpled up and smooshed, but then you water it. Oh wow, look, and a new seed unlocked as we talk about that. 3 suns seed unlocked as I'm talking about how our patrons and how like Alari and Jack and the Thunder and oh, I'm gonna cry. I am crying again because it's amazing that literally as I was talking about them and then the people who have left comments and then my beloved husband Richard, the pride I have in my sister's bravery and her ability to face the future is so wonderful. Like, well, just so much resolve to make the world good for her and her children and herself and her husband, even though she's the things she's been through. I love her. She's my little sister, and growing up I wasn't always the best sister, but because our mom was so sick and I was the one when dad wasn't home in charge of taking care of everybody, I've always felt so responsible for her, and I was even when I was very little. And those are some of my earliest memories, like taking care of her and then my brothers. And I cannot tell you how the mixture of pride and also oh, I wish I could have prevented it. I wish I could have caught it. I wish I could have done something to protect her from everything that's happened and the loss of her son. And I'll never forget that. As you can tell, here I am watering the plants, and every time I can feel that time loop starting in my mind and heart again. I'm so grateful to be looking at these plants right now and remembering, wait, here I am. I'm here with everybody, remember? And the plants, they wither up if you don't water them. And if I'm backwards in a time loop, I can't water my plants. Why is it that every time I come into the garden, the last few times I remember, because in a time loop, the ironic thing is some parts of your memory are all over the place. So it's not like, it's like if you took all your memories and you put them into a box and just shook them up really hard, like a puzzle piece, a box of puzzles. Not an excellent thing per se, but that's kind of how my memory feels. So now I'm remembering like, oh yeah, when we come here, I tend to get like really emotional. And then we unlock this 3 suns. Anyway, I'm proud of my sister and I love my sister, and I have hesitated to talk about the last period of time and where I've been as Seri and what's going on, because I'm so proud of her, and also the things she's gone through are so much. She lost her son, and the trickiness, she almost died. Nope, no time loop. Come on, Seri. You gotta go ahead. Come on, Sage. You gotta water the plants and take care of them. And you need to see what your new beautiful seed for 3 sons that you're forever going to remember this moment. And a sense of renewal. The sun is rising and changing. And now I'm gonna cry again. And I'm gonna be like, oh, Laura, you don't understand yet, but I need you to make a sticker for one of the upcoming months. This plant, please. And I'm just gonna cry all over the place. And she's just gonna be like, yeah, hi, good to see you again. This is totally you. I have been hesitating for a long time. I guess it's been months and years, maybe. I'm not sure. Like, everything is a jumble in my head to talk about it, because whatever I feel, whatever happened, however much family I lost on top of my nephew and other things that happened, and realizing, like, oh, my life savings got scammed. That sucks. I sacrificed Chips and I's ability to get a home because of a lie. Oh, that sucks. Like, however much that happened, and then all of it ended up triggering this illness I was always scared of getting. None of that is... I've always hesitated because I feel like that's the iota of an iota of an iota of a droplet in the sea of what my little sister goes through now. It has gone through. And yet she recently rescued a puppy again. She now has 2 puppies. Both are Chihuahua mixes, and this puppy was in desperate need of a home, and she's got everything together enough with her kids and herself that she was like, you know what? We can take care of this puppy. And so they got a new puppy. It's not this puppy. This is just a random puppy. I would love if I could change the art in this and like put some custom pictures like from our Sims or things like that in there, because I think that would be quite delightful. And so she's that kind of amazing person. She bakes cookies and meals for the homeless people in her city every Thanksgiving and Christmas, and it distributes it. And she rescued a new puppy just a couple of weeks ago, like right before Christmas, I think. And she knits and crochets beautiful dolls for other parents who have lost children that she sends around the world now. And wow, I'm the eldest, but wow, you know, I have been admiring her so much. Even with everything going on in my life, I feel like it's the tiniest droplet in the sea of what she has. And so it's been hard to even begin to pull myself into this space again to speak, because at the same time, it's a little hard for, like, life's been a little I haven't been who I want to be for everyone and for you and for myself, because it's been a lot. And so what do I say, though? Because it feels so disingenuous or a little cowardly or shameful to be like, oh man, you guys, I've been so sick that there have been, until we recently, the last just month, it's only been a month on this new medicine that has changed my life and giving me a bit of my life back. How can I talk about those things and explain, like, I'm so sorry I haven't been around. I'm so sorry I haven't watered our garden. I'm so sorry I haven't done our adventures. I cannot tell you how desperately my heart was in all of that and wanted all of that. But when there's my little sister with so much more, doing these amazing things still. And yet, now that I feel well enough to act, I'm going to do my best, because I think it's not a competition, and we each have our own life. And yeah, it's been hard, but I've been inspired by my sister, I guess is what I want to say, is how I want to start all this, is the way I want to put the seeds of whatever future is ahead of us down. I've been so inspired by her bravery and her determination to make the world a better place, even when it keeps kicking her in the face. And the way that she accepts what's hard and accepts what hurts and will always hurt. And then she picks up her crocheting needles and begins to make something to comfort others who also hurt. She makes beauty in the world, even through that. And not to deny herself, not to hurt herself, but just, I admire that so much. And instead of feeling so caught in the time loop anymore, wow, look at all the plants. This is beautiful. To be able to be in the garden and just do my best instead of say like, oh, I haven't been here. I have to be better before I can go back. And I don't know. I don't know how to explain all of it. So I won't try to flagellate myself. I'll try not to, at least, and be like, oh, I'm so sorry the adventures haven't been around. I've just been so sick. Like, I won't try to justify it, because I know there's people out there who will be like, that's like nothing compared to what I go through, because that's what people have said to me about everything. And I understand. And so instead of working from a place of guilt or shame, instead of not carrying on because I feel like I failed or something like that, I'm looking around now and I'm thinking, oh, planted March 2023. That's almost 2 years ago at the moment. That's actually really beautiful. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sell any of these plants. Instead of that, I want to put down the seeds of inspiration. And it's been long enough, though. I feel like this is a chance to just kind of see what the future has for all of us together. I have no control over my own body anymore in terms, well, I have no absolute control, and I never did, but the illusion was there far more than it is now. But if I can wake up every day and no matter what amount of water is in my watering can, know that it's better to at least water some of the seeds, and that I can one day share the flowers with all of you, that I can celebrate how beautiful they are in myself and with all of you, where I could reach out and we could pass each other asymmetrically in the night again, and it could be 5 years from this moment I'm existing that you leave that comment of, yes, last time we were in a garden together, or this is what's been going on in my life recently. Maybe you'll reply to your own comment from years prior. I think that's so beautiful that it's worth the effort it takes to organize life enough to come up out of those time loops and to accept the imperfections of just showing up and trying. And gosh darn it, I don't know how this happens every time we come to the garden and world, but it does, where I get so caught in the emotions of it. And now, wow, well, let's see if we can find, like, who is the new seed we just found, because I would love to know. There's Green Hut. Oh, there's a whole new Hungry Jaws 3 Suns. So 3 Suns is the new seed that we now have. Let's see, and then let's get it planted. And the next time we meet back up, we can go ahead and we'll see. Let's see, does it need to go in clay? Oh my gosh, it's been so long. And there's the little vases. But next time we meet, I am pretty confident that everything will be a lot calmer. And I won't be quite so emotional. Is it a clay soil plant? But I think it might be. Maybe. It's been so long I can't even remember how to plant a seed. That's adorable. And we'll see what it turns into. And I have a feeling I won't be quite so intense, which I'm really grateful for. And we'll have the chance to water some seeds, to say hello. And I have a feeling that just like before, when we came into these garden end experiences, as the momentum of being able to show up and see how things flower, even if you only have a little bit of water every day, builds up, our adventures in the space that I invite you into anytime that you want to become enwrapped in the leafy, chaotic greenery and laughter and silly stories of the pixel biology world we've built together. It has given me soul-saving levels of comfort to know what we have built in the past when I was lost these last many months, maybe years. I mean, I guess it's been years since everything happened. My nephew's almost 2. He is 2 now, I think. Wow. Again, it's like taking everything time-based and memory-based as a jigsaw puzzle and shaking it up in a box and then being like, whoops. I'm still working all of that out. And some days I think it's kind of irrelevant, and just being kind and doing your best every day is all that really matters. But as we work all of that out and as we build up more adventures, instead of being nervous, I'll fail all of you. Instead of being scared, I won't be able to do it. I'm so relieved to think about the reality that knowing we already have made over 12,000 stories in our pixel biology community over the last 12 years, that gave me a lot of confidence that even in my darkest days, if we've done 12,000 of them already, guys, I think we can figure it out. How to make one more. And then maybe one more. And then maybe we'll reach that lifetime goal I have of like 20,000, 25,000 actually, adventures on our channel. And I'll see if somebody at Alphabet/Google/YouTube ever calls me up and is like, yo, you're taking up way too much server space. What is this? Which no one ever has, but you know, it'd be interesting experience. I'll share with you if it happens, but maybe we'll just have to keep going and see how it works out. Actually, I'm smiling from ear to ear now, because despite everything, we get to keep going and see how it works out. Wow. So I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.